in focus. Click the links for BitChute, Odysee, and Discord if you're brave. So SJWs will take everything you enjoy and they will struggle snuggle it to death. Then they won't want it either. Lucy Lawless sounds like a complete and total asshole, and Gina Carano sounds like a decent human being. Disney is run by assholes making movies for assholes. Social media showed people that Hollywood is made up of sheep who hear something from CNN and they treat it as the voice of God, giving them a script to follow. The media and Hollywood are run by the worst people on earth. These Epstein, Weinstein, Giselle Maxwell, Maria Abramovic types who bang kids. And they think they can lecture us on anything, and they don't see the hypocrisy with that. Listen, I don't mind if you're on the left wing or if you're on the right, but to just jump on a train because it's blue versus red is insane. I mean, to just jump on something without thinking about it. It doesn't matter if it's your guy. The right does it by blindly following Trump, who was an idiot who would burn the Constitution to light a cigar. He's not our guy. And the left does it with the media also. The people who own these companies are the same people who vacation on Epstein's island of horror. Everything the backwoods preachers were saying about Hollywood, I don't know, in the 80s there used to be a lot of these like sweaty preachers with a lot of makeup who were just ranting and raving, which is kind of weird to get those shows in California. It's like, this isn't really, not really a California thing. All those things that those guys were saying, they're talking about Hollywood being like just a pit of vipers and scorpions. Yeah, all those crazy preachers, they didn't actually go far enough in describing Hollywood. I am glad that Gina, my fat Italian waifu, got fired. Disney is openly telling people, get on the globalist plantation or you're going to get blacklisted. Gina seems like a sweet normie who thinks that she lives in America. She doesn't. She lives in peak Weimar Twitter America. There is no loyalty, no standing up for principles in a commercial zone shithole America that is essentially run by soulless bankers and social media companies, not by we the people. And it doesn't matter if you're left wing or right wing. You should see what's going on right now, and the hairs on the back of your neck should be standing up. Twitter and Facebook will determine every future election, and our representatives are worse than useless. They're busy passing laws to censor free speech. They should have gone in the other direction while they could and made the internet a free speech zone, given protections to employees to protect them from political discrimination. But no, they're only too happy to turn America into Weimar 2.0. But hey, Nancy, people will do what people will do. Pelosi is worth $120 million, which she totally got legitimately. And DeSantis banned free speech in Florida schools. Yeah, it's wings of the same bird. And like hippies were saying that years ago, and all of a sudden hippies turned into these authoritarian Bolsheviks who, turns out, were not hippies all along, maybe? I'm not sure. Your principles don't change just because you get scared. Oh my gosh, I'm scared. Quick, burn the Constitution. No, that's not how it works. Because otherwise people will scare you to get what they want. That's about as far as you can go on YouTube, or otherwise they'll kick you out. They'll give you a strike for medical misinformation or something. So anyway, following Carano's firing, they are trying to replace her with Lucy Lawless, though there's not much interest in that. I can't imagine that there's much interest in Star Wars at all. Others expressed their support for Lawless, replace her, just cancel Gina Carano. They want to cancel Gina Carano. What did she do that was so offensive? She didn't use pronouns. That's it. That's all it has to be. That's all. So you're saying the left is suddenly on board compelling speech. Yeah, it puts them in a hard position. It's like, yeah, they're in, hey, left wing, define woman. Do you think biological women, biological men should be entitled to have their spaces to exclude not non-biological women or men? It seems like a pretty easy question to answer. I would say, yes, of course they should have their spaces if they want to have their biological affinity groups. But when you ask people on the left about, please define woman or man, or if they should have their own spaces, all of a sudden they start hemming and hawing because it comes down to is no, they don't think you should have your own space. The thought of excluding people terrifies them. So, well, you know what? Groups have the right to exclude. They have the right to have their own in-group preferences. So they've suddenly shifted to an area where they say, yes, in fact, we do want to compel speech. Wasn't there famous First Amendment cases that went about, license plates that had state mottos on them and stuff, and the idea that compelling speech maybe wasn't such a great thing? What happened to the left? What happened to the ACLU? Well, I can tell you what happened to the ACLU. They got subverted by absolute vermin parasites. It's like some weird civil liberties union that doesn't actually protect civil liberties anymore. Maybe you should change your name. You're not going to protect you're not going to protect your First Amendment anymore, or the Second Amendment. So here's the thing with this character. She's an ancillary character, right? So, yeah, she was good in the role. That person in the role, yeah, you can replace her, but she was good in the role. It's like, is anyone excited about Disney at all? It's something after they fired her. It's like, now it's just, you look at Disney, it's just like, oh God, you guys make me feel dirty. And like, no, there's no, I don't think there's a whole lot of, I think you've sucked the wind out of the sails behind the Mandalorian, is what I'm trying to say. So Lucy Lawless, who turns out to be just a far left whack job, and these people, like, they're just parrots, they're just parroting things they hear. Stop it. Like, they know which way the wind is blowing, and no one stops and go, wait a minute, can we see some receipts for this? Where's the facts and evidence behind this? Oh, well, that ask for facts and evidence means you're a bigoted istophobe. Like, so are we just, like, the left wing is just a side of, like, lynch mobs and witch trials now? Like, you're like those chicks who are smelling the volcanic gases and like dancing around reading like chicken guts. Like, that's the left wing now. You trust the science. I don't think you guys are the party of science anymore. So anyway, so Lucy Lawless kind of gives this weird convoluted statement about being hired. She said, well, to be honest with you, I was already in discussions about something with Disney. It wasn't the Mando, it was something Star Wars affiliated. Yeah, here's the thing. Star Wars and Disney is putting out a lot of content, but they're not putting out a lot of stories. They're just throwing a lot of stuff up on streaming services. They're all doing this. All the streaming services are doing this. And it's like really low-grade efforts. They're not trying to make any lasting stories. They're just trying to get your eyeballs. Like, Disney streaming services knows there's probably like a dozen top tier streaming services, like HBO, Disney, all these things, and they're all trying to say, listen, we need your eyeballs, so we'll put the newest, flashiest stuff we can. It's like, these aren't lasting stories. You're not going to be going back and watching the Mando like you would the original Star Wars. It's just to get as much market share like HBO and Disney and all these other people are just competing with each other. So, like, all the stuff that's on these streaming services is crap. I mean, there's not, I have Amazon Prime, HBO, I've got a bunch of them. I mean, people gave me the passwords to them. That's what I mean. I have them. I've got like the 4 major streaming services. There's no need to watch. I mean, what's on any of them that's worth watching? I don't think I've watched, rarely. It's like, really rarely. Maybe if people are talking about a movie, like, I'll watch it to review it. But to, like, think of the stuff that came out. Are you watching Black Widow? I mean, how many times do you have to be disappointed? You saw Black Widow, Shang-Chi, the G.I. Snake Eyes thing, the Jungle Book thing. There's like all the movies, Wonder Woman 84, all the movies that came out in the past 2 years have been dog shit. So how many times do you have to be disappointed and go like, it's not even worth, why are you paying $10 a month for whatever, Netflix, Disney? It's not worth it. It's insane that it's so bad that they go, oh, no movie Venom comes out. Like I said, without even watching, I can tell you, like, oh yeah, it'll be okay. It'll be fine. It's not going to go woke because that's not what the character, it's a sequel. You can't diverge too far outside the bounds, the parameters set by the first movie. So it'll be okay. It'll be fine. Spawn is going to be it's going to be horrible. Anyway, so she gives this long, convoluted answer that she's word salad. She doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't want to get hired because of politics. She doesn't want to, I think, be seen as stabbing Gina Carano in the back or something. And so she didn't say that. It's like she gave this long word salad answer where she didn't say anything. But I mean, yeah, she doesn't want to look like a political appointment and not an actress because she's a far left whack job. Here's the thing with Disney is they're openly telling you they're only going to hire people who are on the far left plantation. If that's okay with you, then keep paying Disney the whatever a month. If that's not okay with you, then just stop. There's no need to support people who hate you. These people hate you. These are evil. Disney people are. This is just evil people. People own Netflix. Was that the cuties people? Like how many cuties have to come out? And I think EVS said this like a year ago. It says it's like, yeah, after something like Cuties comes out, it's like, well, you should be done with them forever. I mean, you shouldn't be giving a dime to these people. Something like that. It's like, in case you don't know, that was a joint Israeli-Africa production that was it's like filmed in France. Like, oh, it's a French degenerate. I go, no, Israeli-Africa. Like, if you're going to insult the French, at least, which you know is fine to do, but at least be accurate and point out that no, it wasn't actually French people making this movie. It was about little kids dressed like whores dancing around on stage. It was just like Luciferian levels of sick degeneracy. So like once you see a Cuties on Netflix, you're like, oh, okay, I'm done with Netflix forever. These people are filth. And you look at the people who own Netflix and that like, or even who's the people who did the Blues Clues stuff with like a transgender beaver or something, like a female beaver. Beavers have like 4 breasts. They don't have 2. They cut their breasts off to make them a transgender beaver to teach your kids about trans rights. That's I don't know what that's the Cartoon Network. And you look at people who owned Netflix, Cartoon Network, all these propaganda outlets, and you go check their social media, like, oh, these are like lizard people, like these are reptilians. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next episode.